automatically entered to win, and we'll draw tomorrow at noon.
Coming up next, Sushi Video Part 2. Will it work? I don't know. I do. You don't.
It's Sushi-Z.
It's coming
Say
up.
it right.
It's coming up after this.
We're brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions, and you'll get a great idea about mortgages that you're eligible for. And by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Go get a personalized health analysis. This is the time to get back in shape. Feel better, feel younger, and without a ton of new medications at stayfitwellnessclinic.com.
Well, for this part of the valley, it is
yeah.
up north and by the university. Forget
Yeah.
it. So I noticed this. And if you think about it, you'll remember this. Our son goes to East High, and going up to the doors at East High, there's a concentration of gum on the ground because people are like, I'm not chewing in school, and it lands
guess that's
everywhere.
good.
And then you step in it, and then you got gum on your shoe. And they try to help this, and evidently this is like really a huge problem in Amsterdam. Now, the Amsterdam company got together and they said, what can we do about this
This irritating gum chewing problem.
And one guy, evidently drinking, he said, what if we make the soles of shoes out of gum?
You know, the texture is relatively similar, right?
And it also picks up itself.
Gumshoe. Oh my gosh, that is so excellent. I want it.
So they really think it takes about 2.2 pounds of already been chewed gum for every 4 pair of gum shoes.
Wow.
3.3 million pounds of used gum on the streets of the Dutch city.
That's amazing to me.
You want to order some? They're $232 a pair.
I don't care. They're cool. I do it on principle because they're like saving.
If the shoes show up from
environment.
Amsterdam that we paid $232 for, no. They're going back to Gumville.
But they're cool.
They're not that cool.
Yeah, they are. They're saving the world.
National park spending.
Whatever.
So, the around the world, you think of the China Wall. You think of South America, the big bookies. What are they called?
My Inca?
Yeah, Incas thing. And all these different places.
Machu Picchu?
That too.
Okay. Would you be meaning the Great Wall of China when you were talking about that?
What did I say?
The China Wall.
Mexico paid for it. Did you know that? It's true. They did.
Go on.
All right. So anyway, Salt Lake.
You're so immature.
I am. Salt Lake City. It's part of my charm. Salt Lake City. Where do you think they ranked? I mean, let's just say the United States, but I think this is bigger than that. The United States on people going to the parks and monuments,
National parks,
and dropping money. Mm-hmm. You know, on hotels and stuff like that. All right. Number one is California.
Not surprising.
Not surprising.
That's a given.
$1.9 billion, by the way.
Nice.
Followed by Alaska. Alaska would be because
Really?
transportation getting there.
Everything's so expensive. That's
Everything
true.
is expensive there, and the food and stuff.
It's beautiful. We went to Juneau for our honeymoon. It's an amazing place. But
North Carolina. North Carolina. Evidently, they got something going there. And Utah tied with Arizona at $1.1 billion.
Get out. We were in the top 4, technically.
I know. Which is pretty cool. I mean,
Nice.
you figure what we're up against, right? We're up
Wow.
against craziness. But, yeah.
That's really cool.
We also have an edge, though, because we also have 5 national parks and 7 or 11, 7,
I think it's 11.
11 state parks.
Yeah.
And a bunch of monuments.
And we're super duper use our stuff.
17,586 jobs.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
You know, it's funny because they were actually to the point where they were, the legislature was going, they were meeting with the Board of Tourism and going, maybe we shouldn't be talking up the national parks so much because we have the highest in-state usage of national parks of anywhere in the country.
Right.
And so essentially they were saying, you know, we're full to the gills just from our own people. Maybe we don't need to be promoting out of state so much.
It's like the top.
But you kind of always have to.
It's the top 3 that Zions and stuff is getting kind of loved to death and stuff. But they keep talking about the fact that they all need like upgrades on their toilets and bathrooms and all these different things. What $1.1 billion.
Seems like that should be popping in a little bit of help.
Little payback there.
Right?
Yeah. So one of the big moves they're making now is highlighting the other parks, the ones that aren't so readily don't come to mind right away.
Like Cedar Breaks, nobody goes there, and that is heart-stopping. Wouldn't you hate to be like the secondary national park? Hey, that one's not so bad.
Right?
You know, how do they promote you as the secondary national park? This one's not as great, but it's pretty decent.
We're going to Yuba.
I know, Yuba Lake. Never been there.
Never been there.
Kind of excited.
We're excited.
It's going to be fun.
If you
That's not a national park, though.
It's still Yuba. It's water. It's sand. If you've been there, drop a note on Facebook.
I want to know if it's good or not.
All right, so I hope Dave, who gave me this gift, and his wife and their lovely daughter, gave me a challenge about making sushi. This is part one. Part two. The part one is earlier in the show. And so the dramatic conclusion of Sushizi. Here we go.
Now it's time to stuff. Now here, of course, is the fake crab. So we're going to lay that in. We're going to put some more over here. Not too much. It warned me about that. Because a little bit of this crab goes a long way, my friends. All right. I'm going to put that there. Thanks to the Sushi Easy, it is now time to put it on the nori. Nori, seaweed, natural, gift from the oceans, got vitamins, and once again, gluten-free. All right. So all I have to do now is simply, hang on. Stay with me, folks. Oh, man. All right, hang on. I'll move that out of the way first. Evidently, this came undone. This isn't a total loss yet, folks. See, look at that, huh? Look at that. Now I just have to get this top back on. And I don't, okay, all right, perfect. Look at that. Okay, all right. Now, bring this back into the picture. I'm going to turn it this way. Right now, what I'm going to do is extrude some incredible sushi on the nori. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Maybe a little more. Hang on. There will be extruding here. Oh, look at that. Huh? Like a professional. Do you feel uncomfortable right now? You should. All right, now, I'm supposed to roll this up. I'm going to move that log of goodness right there. I'm going to put it right there. So now I'm supposed to roll it up gracefully. There. Okay, let me read the instructions. It says, oh, okay, hang on one second. Hang on one second. Wait. I got this. Okay. You're supposed to wet the edge of this. Like it's a big joint. So I've read. Yeah. Okay, so that's what makes it stick. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you. Oh wait, I gotta make it fancy. Well, there you go. Sushizi comes through again. That's right. As a matter of fact, if you have a food challenge you want to give me, just contact me on Facebook. Let me know. On the list so far, I've also got cow tongue. But if there's something you want me to try, go ahead and drop a note on Facebook. And you know what? Sushizi lives up to its name. We'll see you next time.
How do you feel? You feel pretty good about yourself?
I felt it was a fail. You know, I don't want to.
It was a little.
I don't want to blame Sushizi, because
Poor Doug.
So what I did was this is what I did, and so I went and made another one, and I compressed the rice more, It was perfect. So they do work.
Thank you, Doug. That was very nice of you to give that
Now,
to us.
now, like the gift of the Magi, I'm going to give it to someone else.
How could, you
Well,
love
just let-
extruded food.
Just let it pass around the world as a gift that keeps giving. Thank you, Doug.
Okay.
All right. I thought this was really nice. The hero at the Waffle House, where the shooting was.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Yeah, in Tennessee. There's a lot of ways this could have gone, and I'm talking after the fact. And this gentleman who got slightly shot, there's nothing slight about being shot. And, ouch.
Yeah.
And there's a lot
I like
of
his
things.
expression, though. He's adorable.
There's a lot of ways this could have gone, and with him. And, he said, I'm not a hero and things like that. And that could be it. That could be it. It could stop right there.
He was an incredible hero.
But he did something interesting. He started a GoFundMe page for the other people.
Not for himself or his medical costs,
And the victims.
but for the other people.
Right. Raised over $98,000 in 24 hours.
I think that's amazing.
There's another gentleman, Yasser Ali, was moved by the story, knowing that he had like a 4-year-old daughter, right? So school fund, $60,000 in 12 hours.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
So worked out. I like the way he did that.
Just the nobility of him, number one, saving everybody and refusing to take credit. He goes, I saved myself. True.
He kept thinking of his daughter.
But you still saved everyone. And instead of like worrying about his own costs or his own care, he
Right.
immediately started a fund trying to help everybody else. This guy's an amazing person.
It is. All right. So coming up next, a Hollywood connection. Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool's coming up in just a couple of weeks.
he's so
Deadpool
funny.
2,
Right.
and he congratulates the stars of Avengers: Infinity Wars in his own special Ryan Reynolds-esque way.
Coming up next.
We're brought to you by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. If you're tired of feeling sick and tired, it's time to make an appointment with Dr. Bowden for a new holistic health plan to make you feel better, lose weight, sleep well at stayfitwellnessclinic.com. And by Magic Wash with 2 locations in South Ogden and Layton. Come in for the ceramic car wash that keeps your car cleaner longer by sheeting all the dirt and the water off your nice shiny finish.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for watching the Todd and Erin Noon. I don't know what it's called.
Nooner or daily stream? I think we should just go with one or the other. It's brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. By the way, this is a great time to go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com. They have a $39 air conditioning special. I know it's not easy to believe that today, but it's going to be like, it was almost 90 this last week, and this is the time to make sure that your air conditioner is actually going to work and not suck and cost you hundreds of dollars extra in energy bills over the summer.
We should point out the fact that if you're watching this on demand, this is April 30th.
Okay, this
So
is true.
the snow, if you're watching in August. Ugh.
All right, I absolutely love this. Okay, Ryan Reynolds put up this great picture over the weekend, and he was congratulating the Avengers, and he essentially says in the meeting, in the message, from a guy who never knows when to quit, I'm glad you guys never did. Congrats. Now here's the funny thing. Now the letter, if you look at it, says Stark Industries at the top.
Right.
And then it says, regarding joining the Avengers, no, absolutely not.
It's a rejection letter.
Go bother Professor Xavier. Love, Tony Stark. So it's a rejection to Deadpool from the Avengers.
Oh, that's so funny.
I love
He
Ryan
is-
Reynolds.
gosh, he's so
and I think
funny.
those are Tums, aren't they?
There's
like
something.
antacids.
Or something else. So we can get over the pain.
Oh, God, that was so funny.
All right.
Ryan
so
Reynolds is evil genius.
he
really
is. Him and his wife are hilarious.
Aren't
back
they
and forth,
cute?
too.
How they get at each other. It's really cute.
All right, we have some global headlines, and they're being brought to you by the New Millennium. This is a group that will take care of your financial future, and if you don't think you have one, they can make one for you. Also, by Stay Fit. If you're looking for a total body plan and not just like one thing here and eat cabbage and that's it, these are the people who can put you all back together again. And Fake and McGregor, looking for a mortgage, want to live in the country, want to live in the city. They have the mortgage products that you could be looking for right now. All right, let's get some headlines.
All right, here's what's making news in the U.S. and around the world today. That's April 30th on GetPartDaily.com. Okay, remember the caravan of migrants from Central America? Well, it has now made it to America's southern border with Mexico. The migrants are in Tijuana, Mexico, right outside the San Isidro port of entry in San Diego. Now, about 50 migrants were admitted to the Immigration Processing Center on the Mexico side of the border, while dozens of others spent the night camping outside, including several small babies. Now, the migrants who say they're fleeing violence and poverty in their home countries are seeking asylum in the U.S., something that is their right under international law. At least 29 people were killed in Afghanistan's capital Monday in twin bombing attacks by the Islamic State terror group. This is according to officials there. The first explosion happened in Kabul near the U.S. Embassy, and the second blast came when an attacker, posing as a cameraman, detonated explosives, killing at least 8 journalists. The Islamic State later took credit for the attack. The U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan condemned Monday's bombings as savage. And that on-again, off-again merger talk between T-Mobile and Sprint is back on. If the third and fourth largest wireless service providers do manage to get together, it's going to leave the U.S. with just 3 wireless carriers, including Verizon and AT&T. Now, the merged company, which would take the T-Mobile name, wants to create a nationwide 5G network. The merger still has to get the okay from the government before the deal can go through. Time now for a look at Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audio-visual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash, with an outlet in South Ogden and brand new state-of-the-art facility on Antelope Drive in Layton. And after a week of splendid spring weather, we're now getting another taste of winter. Rain and snow are forecast for today, with high temperatures in the 50s, cool and cloudy Tuesday, highs barely struggling into the 60s, and then another storm moving in on Wednesday. It's going to bring colder temps along with some rain and snow, but ideally, we should see a return to spring heading into the weekend. For more news from across the nation and around the world 24/7, check out GephardtDaily.com. That was kind of nice to do news again. I haven't done news for a while.
I know. Look at you, all professional and stuff.
Well, you're using that phrase kind of loosely, but that's
Fink
okay.
and McGregor. I mean, I got to tell you, we were talking to Jeff Stout, and I said, well, you say you have all these different mortgages. We all know like one mortgage, right? Like what's it called?
Fannie Mae.
Fannie Mae or something like
You've got
that.
Fannie Mae, okay.
It's like, oh, there's one more. No, there's like a dozen or more. And
Zillion.
I keep using this example, but I think it's hilarious. It's the USDA mortgage. And I'm going, well, that's what they stamp on my roast, on my food. And he goes, well, they have a mortgage system that if you want to live in a rural area,
Agriculturally based, yeah.
they have a mortgage for you. So anyway, go to finkmcgregor.com, do the little 4-minute quiz. They'll call you back the next business day, and there you go.
Fink-McGregor.com.
Best place to find a job.
Mm-hmm. Would that be nationwide?
Yes, it would.
Where do we fit into that?
One would want to know, wouldn't they?
One would.
All right, so if you're thinking about getting a job, okay, first of all, the sad news.
There's sad news? Oh, no.
The loser.
You're going to say the sad ones, aren't you? Why is it always them?
I don't know.
New Orleans, Louisiana. This is the bottom. Birmingham, Alabama. Columbus, Georgia. Newark, New Jersey. Huh. Detroit, Michigan. Shreveport, Louisiana. Kind of saw those coming a little bit.
You know, speaking of Detroit, I just want to say this because I heard it yesterday. You know that Ford is discontinuing like 6 models? And they're going to still sell them overseas, but they're not going to make it here because most people want like a crossover or an SUV.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they decided to pull out of
like
the
the
game.
old school sedans and stuff.
They're going to pull out of the game, and they're going to stay making those only. So anyway,
we've got to get new industries into Detroit. They deserve better than that. They really do.
Where does Utah stand?
Yes, tell
Number
us.
1, Chandler, Arizona.
No, look at that. The top 6, they're almost all Arizona.
Scottsdale, San Francisco, California.
Really?
Try to live there. Little expensive. Arizona, Texas. Portland, Maine.
Really?
Thank you. And we are number 18.
Not bad. I can live with
Just
that.
below Seattle and Tampa.
Arizona's nuts. Who knew?
I know. Don't they know it's hot there?
And once again, down at the bottom, Louisiana, Mississippi.
I remember I was visiting in Arizona, and I'm listening to the DJs, in the morning because it was kind of fun to listen to somebody else, and it was Memorial Day, and they were like, "All right, it's Memorial Day, time to go inside." They literally said that.
I lived in Phoenix and Tucson. That's what we did.
And so that everyone goes and hides, I guess. And I would hate that.
I don't think I could run until like 11 o'clock at night, because otherwise you would literally, your legs would dissolve. And this is the only place I've seen where they put cooling units in the pools instead of heaters.
It reminds
Year-round.
it reminds me of the scene when Vince Diesel is playing that guy in outer space, and the sun's coming up, and they're all running.
Oh yeah, Riddick.
Riddick, and they're
You might
running.
want to move faster.
Like-
Move faster.
The
Must
sun
move
was
faster.
coming up. Yeah.
I know, that's pretty sad. All right.
Okay,
Coming up in a couple of minutes.
Oh, this is so cool. So cool. So cool. There's a project going on with the Utah Forest Service. And if you love animals the way I do, and camping is coming up, it's something to think about. We'll tell you what it is coming up next.
We're brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com for their $39 air conditioner tune-up special. Some care now could make the difference in hundreds of dollars of energy bills this summer. And by New Millennium Financial Group. Take your feeble financial health back to a more robust position with a consult with New Millennium Financial Group. They're offering a complimentary financial analysis to get you started at utahsfinancialplanner.com.
All right, so we were talking earlier about the outdoors, about parks and stuff, and how we were rated number 4, tied for 4th, and the people coming out and our huge usage of our recreational areas. Well, just to keep up with a national threat is going on, and they have
There's
taken...
a national threat.
And the U.S. Forest Service is now stepping in with some money on the Uinta Wasatch Cache and Dixie National Forest.
Tell me.
Operation Poo Poo. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, Operation Poo Poo Project. See?
That is so dumb. Tell me.
No,
Well, she looks very nice, though.
She does.
What's she doing with the DeWalt? And good for you, sister. You look great.
Nicely naming the brand, my love. Basically they have a problem with cavity nesting birds. So you're saying, oh, what kind of cavity are we talking about?
Are we nesting?
The outhouses. And
Oh,
I don't
because
know if
you
know,
have like ventilation pipes and stuff like that, right?
they have things. It's called a vault, and that's where the waste goes. And from that, to make it less stinky, they put a big, like 6 or 4 inch tube up the back and get it up high off the ground overhead. It's like a chimney for ew, and that's what they do, because
It's a chimney for ew.
swifts and swallows and owls, they found, are all underneath there, and they are nesting and then using that pipe. They're never going to mate smelling like that.
No,
Seriously.
you're not getting
Yeah.
a date. I don't care how nice your plumage is.
So they
You're out of luck,
they
honey.
purchased 100 screens, and they're doing it, and they've got the project going on. And so all they basically have to do is go up and put a screen on it, because the birds are going down. You know,
That's pretty simple.
if you can't find a cave. Now here's the problem,
Okay.
and maybe I should call them, because if you have cavity nesting birds, okay, and let's say that the bird, you go in and the door shuts behind you, kind of what was that? And they can't find the pipe that goes up, and then you sit down. Is that an issue?
You know, I'm constantly terrified of going to the porta potty in national parks now, as it is, and I always have nightmare visions of what could be down there. And now you just had to put that into my head.
You know what's down there? Cavity nesting birds.
You really had. Okay, have you seen the talons on an owl? Even the little adorable burrowing ones?
Yeah.
Did you really have to share that information with me? Knowing how I am now anyway, you really had to do that to me.
Maybe you should perch. Cavity nesting birds.
You are so stupid.
I know.
Did you really just say perch and make a joke out of it?
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of women would perch in there, right?
We call it hovering. We hover, honey. We hover.
Like a butterfly. No, like a hummingbird. All right. Tell me
I'm
about...
going to take my scarf off and I'm going to strangle you with it as soon as the cameras are off.
I'm
right?
not the one who ruined a movie for millions of people. All right.
I didn't.
Let's talk about the wonderful
Please read
fruit.
the warnings before you watch the show, all right?
It's too late.
Durian.
Durian.
And they call
Durian fruit.
It started as a durian fruit. Now they just simply call it a rotten durian because there's no way around it.
Gym socks.
This is hysterical.
It smells like gym socks.
Melbourne's Metropolitan Fire Brigade said crews were called to the university in the city's central business district last Saturday. They said there is a gas leak. Everyone's freaking out, so they evacuated 500 students and teachers by the Victoria Police. Everyone's freaking out. You know, the smell. Then they're going, crap, it's also in this building where we store dangerous chemicals.
That's right.
Then they're thinking, oh my God, is there some kind of chemical reaction? What is going on?
No.
They found a durian that had been left rotting in a cupboard. Now, if you've ever heard of a durian,
Yeah, let me explain
it is banned literally from anywhere in public, transport, hotel rooms, anywhere other people are in Australia.
So basically what you do is you cut it in half. There are large seed pods in there, and you take a spoon and you scoop them out. And evidently, if you can get it past your nose and into your face, it's delicious. You'll never have sex again.
I don't understand how that can be because the
delicious.
smell is part of your taste buds. I mean,
I watch Anthony Bourdain, and I watch.
did he actually taste it?
He loves it. Andrew Zimmer on Bizarre Foods. I don't think I remember him eating it before, but it's funktastic.
This was awesome. The Environmental Protection Authority actually had to come in and oversee the removal
Of
the
said.
durian fruit.
It was rotten though, so that's not even fair.
That's even worse. But they actually had to, they said that they actually encased it in the same protective casing they used for bomb disposal.
Hazmat suits.
That's awesome.
Oh, just a stupid fact. Andrew Zimmer on Bizarre Foods. What's the one food he can't eat?
I give up.
Walnuts.
Walnuts are delicious.
Not to him. This guy eats the slime out of armpits of lizards.
Yeah, and he talks about...
Puts it on toast.
He uses the phrase fecal a lot.
No, it's called barnyard.
Well, he used fecal in the one you made me watch.
It's chitlins and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
All right. The
I love
police.
this.
Oh yeah, this is a funny one.
Okay, it's like, you know, sometimes a felon can make it almost too easy for you. Almost too easy. Police in Oregon had a suspect leading police on a chase while riding a stolen motorcycle with the vanity license plate reading ex-felon. Brock Williams was recognized Wednesday by an officer in the parking lot of a grocery store.
Right.
And he determined that Williams, who was a convicted felon, had a warrant out for his arrest on a parole violation.
Right.
So he approached Williams saying, dude, you're violating parole. Well, Williams sped off on a Ducati motorcycle he'd stolen while the officer had to be waited to be joined by a patrol officer.
Right.
So they were following him and making note of the ex-felon license plate, which bore expired North Dakota tags.
Right.
Joined the pursuit. Williams fled at speeds between 85 and 100 miles per hour down side streets. Nice guy. Until he reached a dead end and had to get off the vehicle.
They call that bailing.
Now, I find this adorable, by the way, because they then arrested him, who claimed, and he stood on the other side of the street from the stolen motorcycle and said, oh, I wasn't riding that motorcycle.
No.
I was just walking here. You must have noticed somebody else.
Ex-felon.
Are you really so simple-minded
ex-felon.
that you actually tried to distance yourself from the stolen motorcycle with the ex-felon license plate and assume they wouldn't have known?
There's a name, ex-felon. There's a name for the walk when police cars are coming up on you and just kind of cruising and looking around at people. And it's that head down, quick shuffle. And
Nothing
it's called
to see here, move along, nothing to see here, nothing
the
to see
guilty
here.
man walking. Just a little too fast. So anyway, thank you very much for watching today. We're going to Yuba.
good Lord.
We're going to Yuba
I'm so
this
excited.
weekend. Mike, who's running the booth here, does his thing. Got to go down to Moab.
He's much better traveled than we are.
And everyone is, hon.
I know.
And he was down there for the long weekend, and he's quite the photographer as well. And we're going to leave you some of his images.
So essentially, he's slumming with us, is what you're telling me.
Extremely so, yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow.